All right, today on a very warm day here in San Antonio, we are going to do a comparison that people have been asking for. It is the new gold label 517E against the new 2025 Martin D-18. Stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom swag, or check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts at, or send ice and snow cones because it's a warm day and some of our AC doesn't work because that's what happens on warm days. And yet here I am for you, the people, bringing you the guitar comparison you have so much been wanting to see in the comments, and that is with this new dog that's on the block. It is Taylor's gold label 517E. Now, if you haven't seen any of our videos on this, or you haven't seen the announcement of this, this is an extension of the newly established gold label line, which are new designs from Taylor Guitars' own Andy Powers, and they feature really a whole fresh take on Taylor. New headstocks, new logos, changes to body shapes. The original super auditorium body shapes are based upon a Grand Auditorium with different lines, different depths. This is the GP, or Grand Pacific body, a round shoulder dreadnought that is now deeper in the gold label setup with fresh appointments, different shapes, colors, and whatnot. The big thing that's going on here is a new neck joint that we've talked about, along with different bracing. Really V-class fan bracing, V to the bridge plate, fan bracing after it, giving it a very different feel, very new guitar, old soul, vintage vibe. Not just with the aesthetics of the guitar, but also what's going on under the hood. It gives it a really different sound. And most of the responses from the review videos we've been doing and others have been doing have people saying, wow, that sounds very, very different from what I'm used to hearing from Taylor. And it's very, very compelling. So along those lines, it made sense to compare to this guy because this is also a new version for 2025. Can't say it's a new model. The D-18's been around a long time. But for 2025, it got a refresh along with the rest of the standard lineup from Martin. And if you're not familiar with those changes, there's a new nut that's angled at the bottom. Very quick visual representation if you're looking in a store, whether or not it's a 2024 older or it's a 2025 newer model. Aesthetically, a lot of the changes or a lot of the things we've come to expect are there, but an eagle-eyed person might notice that the bridge shape's a little bit different. Golden era bridge shape there. The neck is a golden era shape. Thinner fretboard, rounded on the edges, very comfortable. And the big thing is new bracing. Golden era bracing inside of this, similar to what's available on modern deluxe guitars, custom shop guitars, and so forth. So, the new D-18s continue with what happened with the reimagined lineup. This is what's going on in the standard series. You take a guitar that was popular, make it decidedly more vintage. That's kind of what happened with a lot of the reimagining in 2017, 2018. And now this is doing just more of the same. Again, harkening back to older golden era specifications. So because of the new bracing, these sound different. And I would say that all of the standards I've played so far have a girthier mid-range to them. And I really like them. They've been received very well. We've had a hard time up to this point keeping them in stock, along with Martin having them available for us to order. So it's popular. And someone once asked me, the D-18 is such a good guitar. Why would anyone make anything like it from another manufacturer, right? Like, why not? The D-18 is what it is. I'll tell you why. Because variety is the spice of life. And that's evidenced here. If there's one thing that is a big difference between these, there's a number of things. The bracing's different, right? You have scalloped X bracing, whatever pattern it's following, it's a scalloped X brace, versus kind of old and new, right? It's V-class bracing, but fan bracing at the same time going on over here. And they're both voiced to have a vintage sound. They're dreadnoughts, but one is a round shoulder versus a square shoulder dreadnought. The scale lengths are the same. The neck feels a little bit different. Both are set up very, very well. But let's get a load of this on their mahogany bodies. So Spruce and Mahogany. Now the Taylor, I should point out, is torrified spruce. versus not torrefied spruce. So that is a little bit of a thing going on that the Taylor has over the D-18 in this setup, but the body depth, look at that. I've said this before, this is a thick guitar. It's thick, y'all. And you know what? There's size matters, okay? So as we go into this demo, I want you to take a listen and kind of point out, to us in the comments what you hear between these two guitars. This has long been one of my favorite Martins. I've said several times I want a D-18 in my collection, but this makes things a little bit interesting because of the changes from both models. So take a listen. So big, rich chords in those comparisons, really kind of along the lines of how I think most of you will probably play these, strumming, big dreadnought, probably singing along with it. You get an idea of the warm mid-range that's coming out of these. Now, I want you to put in your comments, lock it in your opinion before you hear mine about what you're hearing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Here's what I'm hearing from these guitars, and I do think a lot of this comes back to the depth. I think the D-18 has more high end than the 517 does. What do you think, Josh, from the recording? Yeah, he said it's fair enough. The man with the headphones somewhat agrees with me. So there's a bit more high end. They both have that really nice warm mid-range that you expect to hear from a Spruce and Mahogany Dreadnought guitar. And there's plenty of volume on tap from either. But the deep body that the 517 possesses, there is another level of oomph that's kind of coming out of this. And I think that's one of the reasons why you don't hear as much high end, because there's so much richness and low end kind of coming out of this guitar. It feels really nice. They're both really nice guitars. It's strange though, and I will say this, from a feel standpoint, the D-18 feels like a smaller guitar. And I never thought I'd say a Martin Dreadnought felt like a small guitar. But compared to the 517, it feels like a small guitar because of the depth and the body shape of it, particularly with the round shoulder. It's it's a bit different feeling. They both play really, really well. But I think that the Torify top and the fact that it has this body depth is really doing something for the 517. And here's where this becomes really interesting. You can get both of these with sunbursts. I really like this kind of edge burst treatment that's going on with the 517. They are right around the same price. They both come with hard shell cases. You do get a pickup on the 517E, whether it's natural, sunburst, or otherwise. You would have to pay extra for a pickup on the D-18E, whether it's from Martin or to have one installed after the fact. So it's kind of a tough choice, if I'm being honest. And I really like these better. And who would have ever thought that someone might say in a video that Martin has more treble than a Taylor does? But there you go. Here we are. This is definitely a vintage sounding guitar. So let me know in the comments below, which one would you pick? I've already said I think the playability on both is great. This does have the new neck joint. You could adjust the neck angle on the fly with the 517, which is super compelling. Torify top, deep body. There's a lot to love here for the money. Huge value. But then, of course, you also have the classic D-18 that so many people just lust after and want in the lineup. So let me know in this comparison which one you think came out on top, which one you would spend your money on. Let us know in the comments below. If you are new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, share our channel. I'll tell you something. We get comments all of the time from people that say, these are some of the very best guitar reviews that Cooper and I do on the internet, and we really appreciate those comments. But I'd love the rest of the world to know we're sitting just under 200,000 subscribers. I see other channels with like 1 million, so maybe you can help get us there. Share it on your social media, let your friends know, and of course, subscribe and keep coming back for more. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.